What? A lot of people are saying, I can't handle all these demonic attacks. And, Phyllis was just talking about something that she was feeling so positive, and then something happened, and she said, I'm not going to let that get me down. And then the adversary comes along with another thing and says, well, that didn't get your attention? Well, watch this. And something else happens. And it's not so much, sometimes it's drama in others, and sometimes it's this or that, a circumstance. But what those things are the storms. And the storms of life cannot get us down because we don't stand in our own strength. That's what we tend to do. We try to say, well, I'm handling this. I'm handling this. But you see, here's what the deal is. We can literally walk on water. Now, that's a figurative thing. Don't go out there and try that right now, anyway. But Yahusha allows us to walk on water and be above the storm and the waves because we keep our eyes on him and his strength. So we walk in his strength and not ours. So all these things that happen, I mean, Phyllis got a phone call yesterday, and I think this has caused her to have an illness that she has. All these things for years and years and years, people calling her and raking her over the coals over me being where I work, because I'm sent to outsiders. Some of us aren't. Well, we all are, but most people are not going to the outsiders. They're trying to fleece the sheep, or they're going to the choir and singing for them. I'm not so much singing for the choir. My understanding is Yahusha's use of my vessel is to teach people so that they become elders, and to look above the fray and to see the long range. Where are we going? Who are we waiting for? And what's the objective? Well, it's love. That's the goal. That's the end point. That's when you get there. It isn't a place in time. It's a place in your heart. You get there when you reach that goal. It isn't knowledge. It isn't, we're walking in a world figuratively that's just, we're running through mud, and I'm trying to, I'm not doing it. It's Yahusha using the vessels that we are in to go out and find the outsiders. Where are the outsiders? And I work in a place that is literally it's the model for the world system. It's culturally the center point of what everything is focused on. The music, the idolatry, just the other day, I was listening to a commercial on the radio where somebody won a football game. They call it the Super Bowl. It's referring to the stadium being a bowl shape. Anyway, these two teams that finally get to the very end point of the season, they get to compete with each other. They're the best teams. Well, one of them wins. Surprise. Anyway, they put out these footballs, and they say, there's a limited edition of these footballs, and they're going to be gold embossed. They're going to have this emblazoned on them. The Super Bowl 2013 or whatever. These are idols. They're idols. People buy these idols, and there's a limited number of them, and they're on stands, and that's what they are. They're idols. Well, culturally, we're surrounded by the world system, and it's all idolatry. They're people, they're musicians, they're politicians are idols, in a lot of people's eyes. Well, it's just, but all these things are all focused in the store that I work in. Walmart would be another example too. You can go in there anytime there's a season like Valentine's Day or the Bunny Rabbit Festival or the sun solstice, Christmas. Yeah, you can go in there and you can satisfy your idolatry, and serve your, do your jumping through the hoops at the certain time. It's the signs and seasons that Paul was talking about. He said, I'm afraid for you, for you're keeping these days and years, and you're keeping these observances, that you used to keep. And he's not talking about Yahuwah's festivals, which are the signals or the redemption plan, you know, the shadows. He's not talking about that. That's what the Christian teachers teach. They say, oh yeah, he's talking about that. He's not. He's talking about the things that they were doing before, the days and the years and the certain times of the year that they do certain things. And the system, the world system is still doing that, you know. But we can walk on, going back to the other idea though, we can walk on water if we keep our eyes fixed on Yahusha's strength, on him, in us. And then these things can just happen, all this drama and all this nonsense. And we can just maintain ourselves and our composure. And we won't be affected by the stresses of the storm, you know. What?